Good evening, everybody. I'm Sneha Keshav from IrisVR. I'm a US UI designer at Iris, and I'm filling in for my director of UX, Anna, who's currently in Hawaii with her twin sister. But I would like to take the opportunity to talk about why the AEC industry needs to get excited about virtual reality. So a little bit of context. Wow, the fonts are all squished up.
Sorry.
It's okay. So a little bit about us. We are a New York-based VR startup. What we essentially do is take your 3D models and convert them into an instantly navigable, true-to-scale, immersive virtual reality experience. And we are about 25 employees strong. About 1/3 of us have a design background. That includes the office fish. And as of now, we have around 45,000 users all around the world. So to contextualize the kind of problems we are solving at Iris, if you're an architect, your basic goal is to understand your client's needs and to visualize a space and build it for them. And to do that, you need to communicate this vision with your clients and your colleagues and consultants who will bring this space to life. And over the years, you've had a lot of technology that has been catered specifically to architecture that helps with these presentations and communications. So right from the 15th century, we've had Brunelleschi that demonstrated the principles of linear perspective, which were further taken forward by Leonardo da Vinci. Around the 1950s, we had a rise in drafting workshops where a lot of people worked on very intricate floor plans and 2D drawings. With the advent of CAD in the 80s, we could actually design in 3D. With computational design around the 90s, complex geometric structures such as the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao could be possible. And the early 2000s, we saw building information modeling, where you could pack in a lot of data-rich aspects into the design elements in our buildings. So we've had a lot of these tools, but at the same time, when it comes to figuring out how to present your ideas, a lot of times architects or engineers or any owner or creator of a project faces this problem where they have a very good idea about what the space should look and feel like, but the person in front of them has next to no clue what they're talking about, or they're imagining something completely different. And this is basically because the presentation tools, now be it 2D drawings or scaled down model as you're seeing here, they lack a level of clarity and the ability to bring different stakeholders on the same page. And these miscommunications don't just restrict themselves to the presentation or the design phase. A lot of them seep into the actual construction sites, and they lead to oftentimes very comical and expensive mistakes. And to quote Frank Lloyd Wright, you can either use an eraser on the drafting table or a sledgehammer on the construction site. And to illustrate the journey of designs to disasters, I'm going to let these images sink in. Trust me, they're not Photoshop, but they just go on to highlight how not just the details, but a lot of time the intent of your design can get lost in translation and in construction. And what this is doing is it's breeding a culture of confusion, of a lot of costly change orders and dissatisfaction. But with virtual reality, you can change this because you can navigate your space as if you were walking through a build space. And what this does is this leaves no room for interpretation. So you're moving from a culture of loose interpretation of 2D designs to one where you actually genuinely understand your 3D space and confirmation. And what this also does is, other than simplifying or like taking away like the imagination that each person can bring to a particular project, what it does is it simplifies your design process. So a lot of design workflows usually start with the conceptualization or design phase or ideating phase, and it translates to 2D and 3D development of projects. And then you spend countless hours trying to convert these ideas into a presentation mode for your meetings. And what that basically means is you're taking your 3D ideas with all their scale and depth and you're slapping them onto 2D surfaces. And with client feedback, what usually ends up happening was every feedback, you go back to the drawing board and this cycle is repeated a lot of times. But with virtual reality, you can make this entire process way more shorter and way more efficient. Instead of presenting your 3D ideas on 2D surfaces, you take your 3D models and you have a real true to scale, like 1:1 perspective walkthrough, and you're experiencing the space the way it should be. And what this does is it brings in a lot of people into the conversation about your construction way before you even start your construction. So in this case, with Martinson Construction, they were working on a hospital project, and be it people on the construction side or the actual doctors and nurses who obviously have a huge say in the way the actual spaces get designed, you can have quick feedback sessions with them. Not only does this save you time, but it also saves you a lot of money, because otherwise you would be spending it on very expensive mockups. So at Iris, to basically solve or cater to this solution, we have our immersive design review tool called Prospect. It's a desktop platform, and what it does is it seamlessly integrates with famous and a lot of big authoring tools and file formats that you can see here. And it takes your 3D models and it makes it into a fully navigable VR experience that you can navigate through using HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and a select few mixed reality headsets. And I'm really excited to present the multi-user meeting feature, which what it basically does is it brings up to 12 people together in the same project. So creating a meeting is very straightforward. What you do is you just select one of your files from the Prospect library and create a meeting for it. And then you can share it with the different people you want to join you on your walkthrough. And joining is also very simple. You can join from anywhere in the world, and you can also do that even if you don't have an account. You can join it as a guest. And what this essentially does is it's sort of recreating the experience of having all your stakeholders in the space at the same time. Only here it's like not even built. You haven't even started construction. And this also makes taking feedback outside of VR and in VR so much easier, especially with tools such as built-in voice chat, where you can hear each other.
Some of the problems when I turn this layer off.
Let's make sure to move this one 3 feet to the left.
And even without this, like just the fact that you are all seeing the same thing, and any way you interact with the model, be it just pointing at something or marking up something using the annotation tools, everyone else that is in the meeting with you is seeing and experiencing the same thing. So this is literally getting everyone on the same page at the same time. So all the presentation tools and other annotation tools makes this a truly collaborative tool. To just sum up the benefits of using virtual reality in the architecture, engineering, and construction industry, what it does is it lets you experience your unbuilt spaces in a true-to-scale fashion. It streamlines your feedback processes. It makes QA/QC extremely easy. And it brings a level of clarity to your communication that did not exist before. And in this way, virtual reality can support the AEC industry from schematic design all the way to final construction. And I really feel that immersive computing along with VR they make formidable and empowering collaboration tools, and they lend a level of efficiency for very complex projects that have never existed before. If you're curious about our software, we have a 45-day trial, and if you want to know more about how we support the AEC industry, please visit IrisVR.com, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Christopher, come on down. Okay.
Why, thank you.